Hi, my name is Susan Weimer, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm back with a video for the Altenew April 2019 release blog hop. There are prizes along the way on the blog hop that you can get back to. There's a link to my blog in the description box below. There's also I think it's a $15 gift certificate available on my blog. If you go leave a comment there, they will select a winner. So I have some Neenah 80-pound cardstock, this beautiful solid image set called A Study in Watercolor. And the brochure is just gorgeous as always. And we're going to actually draw our inspiration for the card design from this video. I did get one of the other sets there as well, and I really need to purchase that leaf, the solid leaf um, set that they always show. They show it in every brochure. But anyway, I have my Misty and my Picket Fence Studios blender brushes, and my Versamark ink, and my white embossing powder. And I have antique linen distress oxide, tattered rose, and aged mahogany. And I'm going to do the graded distress oxide blending that Christina Warner has been showing. I did look it up to see if she had used this color combination. I did not find it, but just got to give her credit where credit is due. So like I said, we're just going to use a layout that was already there. And this was another one of my low mojo days. The day before I filmed this, I had taken my mom to PT, brought her back, gave her lunch, went out, got my mother-in-law, took my mother-in-law to the doctor's, blood work, that whole stuff. And then I came home and, it's the usual, dinner, you guys know. So anyway, I just went with one of the designs that was there, and I really wanted to try the ink blending technique because I just found that just beautiful and also fascinating. So I'm just using some white embossing powder, and as you noticed, I did not use my embossing buddy. So of course I have some stray embossing flakes. I just need to remember to pull that out. And so we're just going to heat emboss this onto the Neenah, and that's the same cardstock that Christina used. And we're going to go ahead and do that. And then also stamping these images each separately allowed me to really nestle them in better together, if that makes sense. So now I'm going to get out my embossing buddy, which I watched Kelly Latavola's video with her boyfriend, and I was in a crafty retreat and I got to meet him. He's adorable, and the two of them together, that video just melted my heart. But anyway, thought it was so cool that he said that that was a bag of rosin, and duh. One daughter took ballet and used rosin for don't remember what. It was her hands in the bar. I don't remember. But somewhere in this house might be a stray bag of ballet rosin, and then the other one used it for playing one of her instruments. So anyway, I never put two and two together. I thought that was fascinating. So anyway, kudos to Eric for knowing that. And maybe there's a different way to get extra embossing buddies or find them laying around your house that are in different forms. If you have a baseball player or a daughter, or maybe yourself dancing or whatever. So anyway, I'm going to proceed to stamp now and stop blabbing. So this is one of the other images, and I'm just stamping everything twice just to make sure I get a nice, clean, crisp image. And we're just going to keep heat embossing. So yeah, sorry, I am doing this voiceover. I started it at 6. It's now 7. Yeah, so there's been more than one. It's been a very noisy night out in the woods in my backyard. It's that time of year. Creatures have things to do. Let's just leave it at that. So I'm going to start with my Picket Fence blender brushes, and some antique linen distress ink, and I'm doing this the exact same way that Christina did, except that she used an ink blending tool, and I'm using my brushes. Full disclosure, I am on the Picket Fence Design team. However, I love these brushes, and I would be singing their praises regardless. So I'm wiping them off in between each time of inking them up on that wet wipe over there in the corner. Excuse me. So this is Tattered Rose, which is one of my very favorite, distress inks, but I also love it in the Distress Oxide. I think I'm loving the Distress Oxides better. I didn't get into them right away, and I really haven't explored very many techniques with them. And so I need to get going on that because I feel like I'm a world's behind. This is aged mahogany. Oh my gosh, isn't that gorgeous? I just thought this was absolutely stunning. And no worries about the embossing picking up any of the Distress Oxide or any ink for that matter, because we're going to wipe it off with a soft cloth, and then at the end you're going to see something else that I do. I'm going to wipe it off with a slightly dry baby wipe. So it is inevitable that you will get the ink obviously while you're rolling over and ink blending over these. Also, I should point out that unless you double embossed, even then you might still have these little minute openings where the embossing powder particles didn't merge, and you will get a discoloration sort of behind them. I don't know how else to explain it. So don't expect completely perfect results. I did not double emboss this because of the fine details in the stamped images. When you double emboss or triple emboss, everything tends to get thicker. And I was going to lose, if I did that, I was going to lose detail in this image that I didn't want to lose. And now I'm just using a clean blender brush, to clean that off a little bit. And then I'm going to go back in there and continue to futz with it. But so there it is. I think it turned out really, really well. I really enjoyed the ink blending. I'm so glad Christina did that series. So I have this black Halftone Hello die cut that I've die cut 3 times out of just a standard black cardstock, maybe even cardstock from Michael's. I don't remember where. It's not the thick stuff. So I'm spraying this with the Sukaneko Sheer Shimmer Mist because I just have to do that on everything. And you can see the dye right there. So now I'm going to try and line up everything in my Misty. This is my mini Misty. And another full disclosure, I am on the Misty team, My Sweet Petunia team, but I purchased this before I was on the team. But again, it's one of those products because I have a tremor, which is going to affect how I'm using this creative corners here in just a minute, because this particular part of the creative corners doesn't really fit in the mini Misty, and I'm not happy with how this is lining up at all. So I'm going to get another one and we'll do it again because between it not fitting in my tremor, it just wasn't working. And so I left this in here just to show that there are other ways to approach this, and just keep trying until you get it to the way you want it to look. And so I've gone over to the other side of my craft room and gotten the little triangle, which would have been a really great idea if I thought this ahead. But this is from the Weekend Doodles set, another one of the new releases, and it's just adorable. And I've played with that. I actually did some white outline embossing with that, and did some ink blending with 2 of the color combinations from Christina's video. And when I stamped this, I just used a very light touch in order to retain the crispness of this sentiment stamping. I think that overall it's better just to have a light touch, when you are stamping tiny little sentiments. Anyway, I'm using some Nuvo clear shimmer to shimmer up my hello, because I'm going to cover that over with Nuvo Crystal Glaze, and that allows the shimmer to be embedded in that. But before I do that, I need to adhere it. So I'm going to use my Nuvo DELUXE adhesive to put that on there. That's what's on my desk. I use what's on my desk. I have 3 different liquid adhesives that I love to use, and this was the one that was on my desk. Just depends. So I'm just going to give it a little extra touch down there and hold it in place for just a second. And excuse that messy, I don't realize sometimes when I'm doing these, because I'm relatively new to it, that I have such a mess on my desk. I really should have removed that paper pad, but I prefer to ink up on the paper pad rather than directly onto my surface. So there's the card. And thank you so much for being here with me today. Please go leave a comment on my blog, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I hope you have a wonderful day on the hop, and thank you.